Outrage. Fury is the instrument of the narcissist. It is a tool that we deploy in furtherance of our aims. The narcissist toolbox is a thing to behold. It contains many devices, objects, and instruments that we deploy in order to secure our objectives. Other people may use these devices in a similar, if diminished form, but they will not be anywhere near as dangerous and effective as the ones that lurk in my toolkit. Some of these instruments are used to subjugate. Others are deployed to control, and yet again there are others that will be used for the purposes of manipulation. The placing of fury in this toolbox recognizes its use to the narcissist as one of his prime instruments. All of our kind bring the fury, but what is it? It will be instructive to start by considering what it is not. Fury is not anger. Anger is below fury on the scale of violent responses. Anger is a strong feeling of annoyance, displeasure, or hostility. It is greater than vexation. It is something more than feeling cross, and it is beyond exasperation. Notwithstanding this, it is less than fury. It does not contain the unbridled vitriol that is synonymous with fury, nor does it contain the violent hostility that one finds with fury. What is most important to know about anger is that it is a normal emotion, and thus by comparison, fury is an abnormal emotion, hence why fury sits in our toolkit. Anger is an emotion and an emotional response that is intense in nature and is normal and arises as a consequence of real or perceived provocation. Anger in itself is neither good nor bad. It can be used for either purpose, and it is down to the manner in which that particular person handles it. An individual may direct it into violence towards another person in order to protect him or herself from a threat. Alternatively, it may manifest in the destruction of property. You, as a normal and empathic individual, become angry. Indeed, as part of our mission to obtain fuel, we strive to provoke anger in you, either through angry gestures or through angry words on your part. This provides us with fuel when you react in this emotional fashion. It is an acceptable and understandable response for an individual to become angry. It is a normal response to a threat or harm. It also releases pressure that builds up inside a normal person. The expression of anger enables people to dissipate this pressure and therefore feel spent but better for having been angry, as opposed to suppressing the sensation and allowing the pressure to build up even further. Some normal people can only take a small amount of pressure before they blow a fuse, whereas other people may be regarded as slow burners who take a long time before they express anger. In either instance, the response is an entirely normal one. People become angry for a host of different reasons. You may agree that anger certainly serves a purpose and concur that helpful and beneficial consequences can arise from this normal emotion. I should imagine that you will also venture to suggest that there is a downside to anger, a downside that results in destructive behavior and violence. That is not anger. That is fury. That is when something beyond anger is experienced, and this fury is more prevalent amongst my kind. Interestingly, anger also results in a suspension of empathy by those who behave normally. The individual, through anger, becomes focused on his or her own needs and requirements. This is not applicable to me. There is no empathy to suspend. That is why we do not deploy anger. We have no need of a device to suspend our empathy because we do not have any. This is a further reason why anger serves no actual purpose to us and why we must deploy fury instead. Anger is a normal reaction. We operate outside of the usual normative values. This normal anger serves certain purposes. None of those purposes are any use to my kind and me. Anger can be regarded as a force for good. That is not something that we are interested in. Fury is beyond anger. It is wrath, frenzy, and savagery. Someone who is furious has gone the extra emotional mile. One might even consider it to be madness. The wild nature of fury causes it to surpass anger, and fury is not to be found in the responses of the normal person. I will emphasize that point. You will not find fury as a response of a normal person. Anger, yes. Fury, no. The deployment of fury is the hallmark of the abnormal. If fury were a normal reaction, there would be chaos, as explosions erupted everywhere. Most relationships would disintegrate, more people would be injured and property broken and destroyed, and the repercussions for society as a whole would be severe. The cost in terms of money, emotion, and well-being would be enormous. Consider the number of times you have been angry. It has happened, has it not? You will also be able to recall when your parents, or at least one of them, became angry, a friend, a stranger, a colleague, or a partner. You have seen anger in everyone, and that is because it is normal. They may have used that anger for some purpose, kept it in check, or let it flow over them and dissipate with no consequence. For those of you who have had an encounter with fury, you will also know it. It will have happened amongst fewer people than the categories that I have just mentioned. This is because the development of people has been such that fury cannot become the norm. If it does, then society would begin to break down. You may have seen many instances of fury from one particular individual. That is because that person is not normal. They are the exception.